Welcome back to Top 5.
Giulia Tofana. In the bustling streets of 17th-century Rome, nestled among the shadows of stately palaces and decadent banquets, lived Giulia Tofana, a woman whose name would become forever etched in the annals of history as the ultimate femme fatale. Tofana was not merely a beautician, she was a concoctor of lethal potions. For half a century, she crafted a deadly elixir known as aqua tofana, a calculated blend of arsenic, belladonna, and lead that purportedly facilitated the demise of more than 600 unsuspecting husbands. Giulia's venoms were a darkly sought-after commodity among women trapped in oppressive marriages, offering them an escape through death. However, her reign came to an abrupt end when one of her clients, paralyzed by remorse, begged her husband not to taste the poisoned soup. The confession spilled like ink on parchment, leading to Tofana's arrest. Subjected to torture, she confessed and sealed her fate, executed in 1659. Giulia Tofana's chilling legacy continues to haunt the pages of history, a cautionary tale of desperation and vengeance. 9. Nanny DOSS. Known infamously as the giggling granny, Nanny DOSS's tale spins the sinister yarn of a woman-turned-sadistic serial killer. Between her twisted laughter, she took the lives of 11 people across 3 decades, including 4 husbands, her own children, and members of her extended family. Doss's marriage to Charlie Braggs collapsed under the weight of grief when their children suddenly perished from what she claimed were accidental poisonings. After Braggs left her for another woman, Nanny's resolve solidified into a deadly compulsion. Doss moved from man to man, targeting alcoholics and womanizing spouses, perhaps viewing them as a means to an end. With her charming yet unsettling demeanor, Doss would ultimately confess to her crimes, leaving investigators alarmed by her nonchalant attitude toward the horror she had caused. Her chilling giggles echoed in the minds of those who heard her tale, a reminder that evil can wear a familiar face. 8. Jacqueline Patrick. The Christmas season in 2013 was meant for warmth and joy, but for 55-year-old Jacqueline Patrick, it marked the beginning of a dark descent. After a heated argument with her husband, Douglas, Jacqueline turned to a sinister plan: poison. With deliberate stealth, she introduced antifreeze into her husband's cherry lamrini, hoping to mask her murderous intent as a mere mishap or a reaction to medication. The next day, Douglas awoke in agony and fell into a coma, while Jacqueline cleverly staged a fake suicide note to mislead authorities. But fate intervened. Douglas survived, resurfacing from his ordeal with a new lease on life, and unwittingly became the prosecution's star witness against his own wife. Strikingly, Jacqueline's youngest daughter had encouraged the act, trapped in a tumultuous dynamic that blurred the lines of loyalty and morality. Jacqueline Patrick's twisted tale serves as a sobering reminder of familial ties turned lethal. 7. Tilly Klimek. In the heart of Chicago's Little Poland, the aroma of Tilly Klimek's famous stew hid a simmering danger. Renowned for her culinary skills, she possessed a peculiar talent for predicting the impending deaths of unsatisfactory people, deaths that she orchestrated with arsenic. It was a convenient career for someone who had lost 4 husbands under suspicious circumstances, turning her kitchen into an altar of death. As her victims, husbands and even a neighbor's dog, succumbed to mysterious ailments, Tilly reaped the rewards through life insurance payouts. Even her last husband, Anton, narrowly escaped her clutches after his siblings suspected foul play. It was only a matter of time before authorities uncovered her crimes, leading her to a prison sentence. Yet Tilly did not confess, steadfast in her eerie silence. With her legacy, she left behind a cookbook full of recipes with a sinister aftertaste. 6. Suzanna FAS and the Angel Makers. In the remote Hungarian village of Nagyrev, a quiet revolution brewed as Suzanna FAS emerged as the unlikely ringleader of a zealous band of women known as the Angel Makers. Their mission? To liberate themselves from the oppressive clutches of their husbands through the quick and efficient method of poisoning. Flourishing in a post-World War I society, they saw the return of disillusioned men as a pretext to buy poison for their ungrateful partners. Under the guise of respectability, FAS, a midwife, encouraged these women to sprinkle arsenic into their husband's food, promising freedom from marital strife. The village's sense of normalcy began to unravel, leading to an eventual scrutiny that ended in FAS's mysterious demise. While 26 women were brought to court, only 2 faced execution, leaving behind a chilling legacy of camaraderie turned murderous. 5. Stacy Castor. Stacy Castor was not a woman to be trifled with. In a chilling web of deceit, she executed a calculated plan that cost 2 husbands their lives and left her daughter in a perilous position. The story began in 2005 when the authorities dismissed her husband's death as a suicide. They found his lifeless body next to a cup containing antifreeze. However, it was Castor's subsequent actions that raised red flags. When investigators unearthed the secrets of her first husband, they discovered traces of antifreeze lodged deep in the layers of history. In a last-ditch effort, Castor attempted to poison her daughter, Ashley, through crushed pills hidden in vodka. But much to her dismay, Ashley survived, ultimately coming forward as a witness against her mother. Castor was sentenced to 51 years in prison, leaving behind a legacy steeped in familial betrayal. 4. Mary Ann Geering. Mary Ann Geering was the epitome of a devoted wife and mother, but when she inherited a staggering 20 pounds, an insatiable greed drove her to commit heinous acts unworthy of forgiveness. As her husband and 2 sons mysteriously succumbed to illnesses, Mary Ann's facade began to crack. Desperate to ensure her children would not claim the fortune she dearly coveted, she took drastic measures to rid herself of her family. Once authorities exhumed the bodies of her deceased relatives, traces of arsenic sent shockwaves through the community. Under the weight of overwhelming evidence, Mary Ann ultimately confessed to her crimes, culminating in her execution. Her case remains a perplexing testament to the calamitous potential of greed interwoven with a mother's love. 3. Judias Benano. Judias Benano's story unfurls through a tapestry of deceit, marriage, and malevolence. This woman's insatiable thirst for wealth pushed her to poison not 1 but 3 husbands across 2 decades. Each insurance policy upon their demise became an insidious plot woven into her narrative, a life laced with financial ambition leading to their deaths through mystery. Diagnosed with arsenic poisoning at autopsy, the mysterious death of Judias's first husband was quickly traced back to her nefarious actions. Her unholy alliance with death continued as her relationships met similar fates, feeding her ambition until law enforcement grew suspicious of her uncanny ability to collect life insurance settlements. Eventually, she was incarcerated for her actions and ultimately sentenced to death. Judias Benano's dark legacy remains a chilling account of the lengths one might go in pursuit of worldly riches. 2. Daisy de Melker. Daisy de Melker remains a shadowy figure in South African history, notorious as the first female serial killer in the country. Fueled by ambition and a ruthless desire for financial gain, she enacted dark plans across 3 poison-laden years that resulted in the deaths of 2 husbands and her son. Each male figure in her life seemed to carry a lucrative inheritance, triggering a disconcerting pattern of illness that all led back to Daisy's kitchen. Arsenic was her poison of choice, leaving trails of death disguised as fate. Ultimately, the law caught up with her, and the chilling tale of Daisy de Melker ended with her execution in 1932. Her story serves as a grim reminder of devastation emanating from greed, which can shatter familial bonds. 1. Suena Timebrand. The tale of Suena Timebrand is the pinnacle of domestic betrayal, wrapped in the chilling guise of a loving wife. After 11 long years of marriage, her relationship with Robert Barron had deteriorated into a series of silent grudges. Taking matters into her hands, Suena resorted to an unusual poison, boric acid. With an unassuming demeanor, she intentionally tainted her husband's meals to satiate her frustrations, an act that spiraled into a desperate attempt for control. Robert, though suspicious, managed to uncover Suena's plot through a security camera, forever altering their dynamic. When confronted, she maintained that she only administered the poison during moments of irritation, revealing a twisted rationale behind her actions. While Robert survived, Suena's story ended at the hands of the law, leaving a legacy of betrayal that shook the foundations of their marriage.
In a faded dream where the shadows play, I'm drifting through the night, chasing ghosts away.